Welcome to Yeshua Kids Garden.
Good morning, madam. Nice to
Good
have you here
morning.
today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, today we're going to be discussing, today's theme is titled, How Today's Culture and Civilization Has Eroded Education in Nigeria. So, before we
Okay.
get into the topic, I would just like to take a brief moment to allow you introduce yourself properly and fully the most you can, and then we actually transition to the topic itself. Okay.
Yeah. My name is Patricia Enase, Mrs. And I'm from Nigeria, from Delta State, and I worked with the Lagos State government for 35 years before I retired in 2015 as a director of quality assurance in the Ministry of Education. And from 2015 to date, I've not really done anything education. I've been running around doing buying and selling. So this is an opportunity for me to refresh my brain and to put in my best. And I promise that I'm going to do my best. Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. Before we start the subject proper with the questions we have for today,
Yeah.
can you, since you mentioned you had experience, basically you worked in the field of education, so can you share with us what it was like and how does that compare with the educational system today?
Yeah. The difference is clear. It's clear because the children of this generation, they are quite different from those that came before now. We were obedient children. When our parents say sit down, we sit down. Until they ask us to get up, we don't get up. But these days, when you ask a child to sit down, the first thing he's going to ask is, Mommy, why do you want me to sit down? And if you can give a concrete answer, yes, he's ready to sit. But if not, he's not ready to obey. He will say, okay, I'm coming. I'm coming, and he's going away. So that is how today's lifestyle and culture has eroded education. Children are nonchalant and even their parents, because they say charity begins at home. And I'm sure they are emulating what they have seen at home. That's my take. I don't know. I may be wrong, but that's my take.
Okay,
Thank you.
So we're open to all opinions here, so it's really an open discussion. So, just another question. So, I noticed that the moment the topic of education was brought out, you also spoke about education that has to deal with the what we receive at home. So, for you,
Yes.
would you say that education is divided into two? So, we have education in school as regards what we learn for the professional world. We also have education when it comes to morality. So, do you agree on that divide when it comes to the subject of education?
Yes. Education is formal and informal. When you talk about the formal education, is the one you receive in the four walls of the classroom, right? And when you talk about the informal, is the one you receive from birth to death. So between that gap from birth to death, a lot goes on. But if you talk about the structured formal system, we start from probably kindergarten to university. It's a different ball game. So I will want to say that that adage that charity begins at home is very, very crucial, because everything about the child, about the society, it starts from the home. If the home is not organized, of course it will tell on everything that is happening outside there. How many parents actually have the time to sit their children down to say, look, my son or my daughter, this is how and how things used to be done. And even the parents will join in speaking pidgin English and thinking that that is the way of life, that that's what is happening in the cities. So they will say, hey, I beg, come out there, and they'll be laughing, they'll be happy that they are speaking English, which is not the right thing to do. So yes, education has to be revived, and it has to start from the grassroots, from the KG, because they say charity begins at home. Let us try and reform the parents, and it will be the parents and the children back home and it will be what will reflect in the society. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
think.
okay. It seems like more so the responsibility is more so hinged on the parents, and it seems
Yes,
the parents have a very key role to play. And we can say, based on your statement, we can say that the parents are the major contributors in deciding the future of tomorrow, and also how the fabric of the society has turned into today.
yes.
So, if I have
Yeah.
that correctly.
Sit made a bang. Hey, look, these days, where economy just they fail. Come with Sapa way, no fit explain. You get brand where they sell, we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go hey, pay. Look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like, I'm gonna next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money to do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you shop buy for any location, where you there, so my manana, distress sales. My manana, distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Like see things they share for this website. Let me go check out this website, man.
Okay, sorry for the break in transmission right there. So we're just going to continue on with our topic. I don't know if we can kindly explain if what the major causes are. So where we left up was more so with the parents' involvement and how they play a crucial role in the child's development. So what would you say about parents today? Are they really taking their responsibilities seriously? And where are they lacking? And what intricacies can you share on the subject?
Yes. Yes, like we were saying, the parents are grossly responsible for what is going on. As far as I'm concerned, I may be wrong, but I think I still pass 70% of the blame to the parents. One, let's say a position in a situation where the mother is not doing anything, probably a petty trader, the father, a farmer, or whatever, and they say, okay, bring pencil, bring ruler, bring this to school. And the child cannot afford that. What happens? Somebody who is more affluent than the parents can give that child 100 naira and say, okay, go and buy. You say you don't have pencil, say, yeah, go and buy pencil. And when the child comes home, the parents are not going to ask, how did you get 100 naira to buy that pencil? They are not going to ask, because they will assume that the child is grown up enough to take care of his or herself, which is very, very, very morally wrong. Parents don't care. They go to work or to go to the market and leave the children at the mercy of either the neighbors who will now take advantage of those children. And so many things are going on, my dear. So the parents, I still believe that parents are responsible for the ills in the society. And when this happens, instead of them to say it, they will prefer to hide those things from the public. For example, you give a child to say, okay, take care of this child before I come back. Then the young man or whoever will do some rubbish and practice certain things on the child and say, if you talk, you will die. Those are things that scare children. And at the end of the day, they fall victim to so many ills in the society. So I believe that parents have a chunk of the problem that is happening now in the society. The parents are to blame, especially the mothers who don't. I don't know. I'm a mother, but I think I played my role when it was my time, and I know that today I'm a very proud grandmother. Yes.
Okay, so that's we're happy to hear that. So I think it's an honor
Yes.
to have you once again, given your experience and given your age as well, because there's a lot of knowledge and
Yes.
history to tap into that can help shape the question. So I did ask, because I'm a teacher as well, so I did ask some of my students one time, and the question was, what determines a man or a woman? His past, his present, or the future? What would you say will be the ideal response to this question?
Hmm. Without mincing words, I will say the present is very, very important because the past is gone. The future you cannot see, but the present you have. You can hold on to the present. You can hold on to the present, and you can make corrections. If you are not going to dwell too much on the past, but you can reflect and say, "Oh, this was what I did yesterday that made today to be like this," and you begin to make changes. But some people will live in the past. Hey, when I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that, forgetting tomorrow, forgetting even today. So for me, if we concentrate on the present, it's going to be far, far more beneficial to the society than thinking of the past and looking up to the future. That's what I think. But I may be wrong, but that's my own thinking. That's my thinking.
Okay.
You can hope. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. So, I know you made mention in the previous question that was asked. You spoke about you actually mentioned 70% being the parents' fault, and
Yeah.
the 30% being left out. So, how would you attribute to that 30%? Is it the
Once
society?
again,
Is it the government, or what is the 30% that is left out from that 70?
okay. The 30% is society. Society has a great influence too on the child. So if I say 70% to government and 30%, who owns this other 30 is the society. Because if the government is able to put structures and facilities in place, when I say facilities, physical facilities, and structures are the regimen, the structure of how an educational system is supposed to be, and you give responsibility and follow up with authority. You don't just throw responsibility at teachers or principals and you don't back it up with authority. So I believe that by the time we start putting responsibilities across to the teachers and principals and those in charge and backing it up with authority, then we will know that yes, something is happening.
So
But
okay, sorry. So you understand the context of responsibility, authority, so to say. Is that more so a reference to the law and enforcement of the law to ensure that these things are carried out?
yes, I believe so. And when we say laws, not arresting people with the police or this and that, but I mean societal laws. There should be some norms, some values, yeah, that we associate with a child or with children of certain age. A child of 10 years is going about with an iPhone. When even commissioners cannot even afford, or top people let me say rich people will not want to buy such phones. But you can see a child of a farmer going about with an iPhone, and you begin to wonder, what is this? What is going on? And you can't get any answer. So I still believe that at the end of the day, everything falls back to the parents and the society, then the government, because the government is lackadaisical as far as I'm concerned. They are not serious about what is going on. I don't think so. I don't think so.
So you spoke about the present as the moment to take action, and obviously you also validated the past as what to look at to actually make the corrections needed. So basically, we're referencing the past and possibly seeing what worked in the past, and trying to fix the issue in this present day to actually aspire for a better future and actually rectify what we're actually suffering or plaguing the society today. If I've understood that correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct, it's correct.
Perfect. Sorry for the break in transmission. So we're just going to continue on with the discussion. So the next question I have for you is more so on corruption and mismanagement. So how does corruption in the educational system or institution affect students and teachers? So what is your take on that?
Yes. Corruption is a word that we find it difficult to remove it from the dictionary of any nation, especially in the setting of current day. And when you talk about corruption, it starts from the roots. A principal is put there because the uncle is a commissioner. A teacher is posted to a school because the auntie is a principal. So man is doing a lot of damage to the system, and that is where the corruption starts. Even when somebody is not competent, because he knows somebody there, he will march on the head of every other person. So corruption, like I keep saying, it goes back to the home, to the parents, because if the parents bring up these children properly, they will grow up to understand the value of honesty, the value of not being greedy and want to grab everything to his or herself. So that's the thing. Corruption is endemic, and the only way to remove that corruption is to get to that level of conscientization. Where we are now, we are just playing, because there's no specific value. When you talk about if you see a typical Nigerian, what are the values that he exhibits for you to know that this man or this woman is from Nigeria? So that is it. But if you go to other culture, you see the Chinese, you see the Indians, the way they tie their wrappers and everything. And Nigeria is just rush, because we are very good Russians. You go to London. I read of somebody who traveled from Nigeria to London, and on the queue, nobody was chasing him. He was just running when he saw the bus coming, and he became conscious. Where am I? So he now realized that he was in London, not in Oshodi or wherever. So that is it. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. But like you were saying, if it's possible, if I had the opportunity, I will set up or manage a school, and the products of that school will prove that yes, there can be changes in the system. Like when Tai Solarin was alive, I'm sure you must have heard of that.
Yes, I've heard of him.
And he owned a school called Mayflower in Ikene. And that school produced the products of that school. If you see them today, the difference is clear, because I had one as one of my teachers and who became a principal. And the way she comported herself, the way she carried the school, with a passion. So I don't know. People of Nigeria, they are all after money. If you ask them to do this, how much are you going to give me? That is not how it's supposed to be. And I don't know, probably not in our time, but I keep praying that one day there will be changes and they will come to stay. That is it, yeah.
Okay, so it seems like for you, society is playing a role and the parents are playing a role, and it seems like we're going on an automatic spiral down, because it's only if society is influencing the families, then the parents also will be influenced, and that influence actually is being impacted to the children who actually go into the society. It seems like one is giving, one is taking, and it's like there's a give take that is set on automatic today. So how do we resolve this? Is there any hope for the future? Is there what steps and what measures can we take to actually ensure that this continues, or what level of impact can we make, and what would you suggest as a solution? So basically these are just different renderings of the same question, just to clarify what the question is about. So I would like to hear your take on that.
Yes, for me, we have to go back to the roots and go back to the drawing board, to say what has really gone wrong. And where are the people who will even carry out this restructuring or who will carry out these changes in the system? Because if you are pointing one finger, the others are pointing at you. How many of us can really come out raising our heads high to say, yes, yes, I will beat my chest to say, this is what I want to do and I will stick to it? How many of us or how many people are there? There are not many. So conscientization, you have to wake up people's conscience. You eat food and you throw the nylon through from the window, from everywhere. The gutters are blocked. Why? That is because they don't have a conscience. And if that conscience was awake, they will know how to do the right thing. So we have to go back to the drawing board and restructure and put people of integrity, not because they are in this party A or party B. No. Let us search for people with integrity and put them in position so that they effect these changes that we are talking about without fear of people. I think that's one of the things. And then the children of these days should be well brought up. Most parents will drop the children in the nursery school at the mercy of the caregiver. And caregivers these days, don't know whether they are well trained though. And even if they are well trained, are they matured enough? Because it takes a parent to raise a child. I'm not saying everybody should get children before they start raising others, but at least when you know, if you know the pains of bringing a child to this world and you value that, I mean, the way you will bring up that child is like your own child. In those days, in the community, everybody in the community is a parent of a child. If a child is going wrong, they don't care whether it's from my womb or from any other place. They will call you and tell you, come, what are you doing? I had a grandma who was staying, we were staying in the same compound. If you don't greet her, you walk past her, she will pull you back and say, did you not see me? Am I too small that you didn't see me? You know? And that is how it's supposed to be. But if you do that these days, the mother of that child will run back to say, hey, must they greet you? Do you understand where I'm going? And so that is it. And we have to, it's reorientation. This National Orientation Agency, I don't know what they are doing, but they should be held responsible. They should be given some push financially, and when you give them push, you must financially, then you must supervise. Because these days in Nigeria, what we do, we just throw policies here and there without making sure that those policies are implemented. So that is my take. We have to go back to the drawing board and start all over again. Okay, but fruits will not be in our generation.
Okay, so many things to pull here. So there is an enforcement issue definitely on the part of the government, we would say.
Yeah.
And so that has created some level of nonchalant attitude on the part of the people who are supposed to be having or holding these responsibilities. Also, I think there's also a subject of lack of accountability, and I think there is no necessary penalty in place. So, because I think if people were penalized and then they would understand the implications to actually do their jobs or perform their roles perfectly. Okay, so you spoke about the finger, the popular finger adage, where one finger points to the other and the rest points at you. So, and I also mentioned before the break in the transmission, we actually, I think you were speaking about the need for legislation and the need for laws to be actually enacted to make sure that our people are not completely destroyed by demoralization. So now, are you saying that everyone, going back to the four fingers, does everyone in the society, do they have to take a responsibility themselves? Do they need to be actors? And if they're actors, can we together, if we get a significant amount, do you feel we can do the needed change? Can we impact the needed change that needs to actually effect something that would turn around this present, as you said, endemic or pandemic? Can we actually make that change, or do we need some legal or legislation back in when it comes to change in this respect?
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. We have to, like I said, go back to the drawing board, and we need that change. And there should be a legal backing. One thing with Nigerians is that they are good followers. They are good followers. If you ask them to die for Mr. B, they are ready to die. Even without asking why they want us, why do you want me to die? They will not even ask. So I believe that if you give a typical Nigerian the opportunity to showcase his talent positively, they will do. They will do that. So let us, if we start with ourselves, then others will emulate.
Okay.
But
perfect.
Yeah.
I just want to come in briefly. I'm so sorry to have to interrupt you here. So what can you recommend as a strategy? What do we need to do exactly? Given your experience from the past and living in this present time, what would be an effective strategy to actually curb or reinstate the situation to what it was before?
Yes, legislate laws and follow up. You know, those laws must be put in place because we are human, and because we are human, we still drift left, right, and center. So if you put a structure in place, a straight jacket, and say, look, if you are going from Lagos to Benin, this is the road you must follow. You must follow that road, and if you divert, you are in trouble. And if you divert, are the penalties there? Are they glaring? Are they sincere penalties? If you say don't park here, are you providing an alternative parking spot for people to park? So those are there is so much rot in the society that I don't even know. At times I begin to wonder, where do we really start from if we want to start? Where are you going to start from? But to me, I will say we start from the parents. And once the parents are upright and straightforward, they will do well. I read of recent where a parent went to fight a teacher. I mean, why? Have you ever heard of that when you were growing up, that a teacher, a parent will just tie her up and say, hey, today me and this teacher will die? I mean, that's rubbish. Because even if your child is on the right side, you don't do it in the front of the child to tell the child that your teacher is nothing. You have to put that respect, you create that aura of respect around the teacher, and you can now come back and say, look, my daughter, this is what you did wrong. And I think the person will appreciate more than going around to fight a teacher in the presence of everybody, making fun of that.
I think that demeans the teacher's authority and also emboldens the child. And obviously the teacher is obviously going to have a much harder time. And obviously being a teacher as well, that teacher might feel might lack the motivation or the fortitude to continue doing what is doing intently with the right frame of mind. And that's a very interesting issue, because I think personally, I saw an early onset of this within my time where parents were more so on the child's side. Not to say that you're not to defend your child, but obviously we understand that each action has its implications, and such actions actually results to the child actually being bold before an authority, and obviously teaching the child in the society to disregard or disrespect authority. Why? Because you have a godfather someplace in some sense. So that's interesting. So I want to go back to what you spoke about and how basically the society is also concerned, because it's a very strange dynamic, because the parents have been impacted at some point. Okay, there's a point of change which has, we can say, created new types of parents that are now educating in a different light. So, and I want to know, so now the aspect of the society as well impacting on the children's life and also influencing the children's way of life. Would you say that in another respect, we know that things are going on not so well in Nigeria right now. So would you say the economic pressure has actually reduced the time of the parents. Obviously, I think in psychology we have a study that says that it takes a settled mind to be able to plan things properly. So if the minds are so distressed, and you basically the need to respond to the basic, which is food and survival, don't you think that might be playing a role as well? What do you think about this? Is it just a decision not to, or a lack of responsibility, or does this also play a role in this subject?
Yes, it plays a very, very big role. Let me use an example of a teacher who lives in a community. That teacher is well respected. I mean, before they take decisions, they call the teacher for a meeting to say, look, this is what and what we have discussed in the community, and we want you to put in one or two things. Okay. Now that teacher comes in to the meeting looking haggard, hungry. He has not even paid his rent. There's nothing. I mean, how can you have that moral justification or that I wouldn't say responsibility. How will you have that justification to talk to people? What are you going to tell them that they will listen to you? They say, oh, this one will never even chop. This one will never pay rent. So many things will start coming in. Yeah. So who are you to start talking to me? Do you know who I am? You know that popular word. Do you know who I am in Nigeria? So that is it. You have to tidy up your environment or your home before you are able to talk to the other person. And that goes back to charity beginning from home. The teachers are not isolated from the society. So the society or the teachers are a reflection of the society. If I may say so. Yeah, they are a reflection, because if you pay your teacher salary, you make sure they are well dressed, make sure when they talk, they command respect. But when you see a miserable teacher coming to tell you to tuck in your trousers, your shirt, or do this, you just look at the student will just look at the child and laugh, or look at the teacher and laugh, or the parents will say, I beg, go find food chop first before you come talk to us, and they make fun of those teachers. And these are people who are supposed to support and hold the norms and the ethics of the society. What has become of them today? So I don't know what we can do, but for me, the best thing is to first of all start from the home, which is the parents. Then you empower the teacher, because the teachers are also parents, whether you like it or not. Some of them, yeah, most of them are parents, and they know what is right for them and for their children, so and for the society. Yeah.
I think that is what we have lost, because
Yes.
we back in school, even though I wasn't in the same time, but I was lucky enough to meet some of that, and that enables me to compare what we have today, because the teachers had so much power and so much authority, and it's kind of like a child. If a child runs to his father and says, hey, this happened, and then runs to the mother and says this happens, and both the father and the mother are in sync with respect to what the child should not do, then the child will have no choice than to obey. But we see that we see the contrary today, and that is really, I think that's another issue in itself. Okay, so I still have another question for you, and what would you say? I hear a lot of elderly people talking about the screen time. Everybody's on the phone. So now that brings in the subject of media influence. So would you say that these gadgets have given way, provided a window to certain influences that never existed amongst us to permeate our society? So what would you say?
Yes. I've always said that the IT is satanic. Satanic in the sense that it has a lot of negativity compared to in those days when we were using four-figure table to do calculations. We have to open pages and be calculating. But these days you press one or two buttons and the result is there for you. And IT, it has its own good aspects, but to me, children should not be allowed to access all these gadgets too early. Let me give you an example. Even my grandchildren, I keep telling my daughter, I say, come, these children, This from morning till night, they are on computer, pressing, and it will affect the eyes, even concentration, even the brain. It will affect everything. But will they listen? Because if they are civilization, they are there. We are the people, that matters. If my child can go with an iPad to the school, and palasa phone, you can bully the teacher and say, I better go rest. If I tell my father, I know he will deal with you. That kind of, and the father will really come and say, oh, why did you talk to my son or my daughter like that? I will deal with you. We shall see. All those one will now cow the poor teacher, and the teacher may not be able to say anything again. So this IT thing, they are in a class, they are busy pressing. You put something, you will be looking at the child. I say, what is this child? Let me just cut this story. There was this, I was invigilating an exam sometime, and as I was reading what the girl was writing, it was copying from a textbook under the table, and foolish girl, he was copying everything verbatim. So I was reading and said, what is this girl doing? I opened only to see that he has a textbook under the table. So you see, and it's because they have access to these materials. Maybe we could put an age to say from so age, don't use phone, don't sell alcohol like they tell people, but do they really care? From 18 years before you buy alcohol. If I sell my boy of 5 years to go and buy alcohol, and they will sell for the child. So it depends on the society, the system, the laws. They are not there. Even when they are there, they are not effective. That is it. Yes, that is it. So telling them not to be IT compliance. No, I wouldn't want that, because the world will leave them behind, like they have almost left me behind.
Okay. All right. So
they have almost left me behind.
Okay, so I have a series of questions from that as well. So now first question, just a commentary on what you said. I feel that the internet, when it comes to gadgets, that's like a lot of power, and it has power in itself to do a lot of things, both good and bad. It's kind of like how Adam and Eve were not powerful enough to wield that knowledge, and because of that knowledge of good and evil, it's the Most High did well, knowing that, just like a babe, they were babes for that. So we can consider technology in that respect, whereby it has to be controlled supervision,
Yes.
because that is access to everything, and you cannot give that to a baby or a child to actually wield such access, because you're only, even if you're present, it's something that is so restrictive with respect to you being in your corner and doing what you're doing as a child. So it reduces the level of control, it reduces the level of supervision, and ensuring that your child is not basically going into things that it shouldn't go into. So that is a big problem, and I also would like to support that initiative to say that children, there needs to be a certain age. I think there should be an age of no access to controlled supervision, and then when the foundation is solid on good tenets and trainings, then that child can now have that that ability to say, okay, I can wield this. Why? Because my foundation is solid with respect to the morality and the education I have received. So I want to ask a question, because we spoke about community. I think you mentioned how a child is everyone's business. And back in the day, because I also experienced some of that back in the day, and there was this statement that a child is everybody's business. Basically, a child has had many parents, and that child, if he does something, you have the person who actually flogged him reporting to the parent, and the parent actually give him some additional strokes. So contrary to the way we see that today. Now back to the community. what can we do as a community to actually ensure that there is a correction, or how can we start making that correction as a community, no matter how small, and what can that community do? So if a small group of people, like you said, we need to start somewhere. If a small group of people decide to make that change, what can they do to make it lasting in such a way that it stirs emulation?
Okay. Yes, that's a good one. I've always been thinking of that. Yeah, these village square meetings in those days, they used to impact, parents or elders in the society. They will gather at a particular time. So in a typical village is what I'm trying to describe now. They will gather under the trees and teach these children the norms. How do you behave? If you are age so and so, they have age groups anyway. If you are age so and so, this is how you behave. This is how you greet. This when you see an elder, this is how you will kneel down and genuflect and greet an elder. But these days, in my village, for example, if you ask a child to say, "Give me water," I will say, "Hey, how much you go pay?" And they're not going to speak good English. How much you go give me? And the mother will be so happy that the child is speaking English, thinking that is the real English, So it depends. So it depends. It's how we have a long way. But those moonlight storytelling is an avenue to bring these people back to reality. On NTA in those days, there used to be Tales by Moonlight on NTA network. And in those days, I used to tell my child, say, come and listen. Cock Crow at Dawn. There was a particular soap that was on television for a long time. And, these stories, they impacted on the lives of these children. But these days, what do you see? People who are men, they want to dress like women. Those who are women want to be like men, and so there's confusion. There's confusion in the society. There's confusion, and unless we address this confusion in the society, there is nothing we can do. And how do we start? That is your question. How do we start? We from ourselves and from the our small enclave, our small corner. If we start from our small corner and they see that you are doing something good, at least there are still people with conscience out there who will say, what this mama is doing is true. That's how we used to do in those days. And they will join. And before you know it, the community will spread. Yeah, that is what I think should be done.
Okay.
We should revive them. Revive them.
Okay, this is a very interesting topic.
Hey, look, these days, where economy just they fail. Come with Sapa way, no fit explain. You get brand where they sell, we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go hey, pay. Look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like I'm go the next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money to do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you sharply buy for any location, where you there, so my manana. Distress sales. My manana. Distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Like say things they share for this website. Maybe go check out this website, man.
So I feel the need. I feel that we should have you more to discuss certain topics going forward, because I feel with your age, with your experience, and where you've worked in the past, I feel that would be useful for the younger generation. And where, like you said, we start with a small enclave and hope that we actually are able to stir some level of emulation. Your Kids Garden has a lot of plans in view, and it doesn't just end here, because for us to make that impact, we can't just be talking. We actually have to put things in place, and it will be an honor to have you, as we I think we discussed prior to the to today's meeting, and I feel that we would have more discussions in that light. So just before we close, I would like to ask if you have any final words for Nigerians, or precisely the younger generation today. What would you advise them?
Yes, for Nigeria, we should go back to the drawing board. And I was thinking in my mind, I said, why did we discard the old national anthem? Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. And that was the typical Nigerian culture. In Nigeria, we go to London, and the first person he's going to look for is not going to look for his brother or sister. Where are the Nigerians in this community? That's exactly what he's going to ask. Then from there, he will now come down to his village level, you know. But these days, no. Even if you are in Nigeria, they will just, you enter the same train with them, they will just look at you as if, this one don't run from Nigeria, don't Japan come here. You want better thing, and you know go do it from your village. You know, those are the kind of attitudes that Nigerians have. And we have to go back. Ministry of Orientation or National Orientation Agency or whatever, they have so much work to do, because there's too much decadence out there. Where are you going to start from? Is it the parents? Is it the school? Is it the church? Is it the society? Is it the mosque? Where? We have so many challenges that at the end of the day, let us take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and let us start from the parents. After the parents, then we can now go to teachers, and probably later to the children themselves. I don't know that, but that's my thinking, because the parents are really responsible for what is going on right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we have a lot of decay, and these are the kind of topics we need to talk about. So we've addressed one of the millions. So we're going to have to see some other time actually talk more on the other aspects that are plaguing the society. So I don't know if you have any I won't say final words, but more so, do you have a business or anything you would like people to contact you on, or how people can reach you to interact with you, or how would you have any of those to share? So just before we call it a day, then I would like for you to actually share that if that's okay with you. Course.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate this. Like I came across this Yaksha kids whatever on my phone, and I was wondering. I said, who are these people? And because these days everybody is scared, scammers are everywhere, and by the time you open up, before you know, your news and everything is all over the platform. So, and when I spoke to the person, I was a bit scared. Say Fortune can be a man, can be a woman. Who is Fortune? And when you answered, I knew that yes, these are genuine people, and this is what I have been looking for. I want an avenue where I can express myself, where I can even if it means taking 2 children and say, look, these 2 children should be the standard, should be the sample for the society. I am ready to do that. So I retired, like I said, and when I retired from service, I dabbled into so many things. But as a teacher and somebody who is straightforward, there's no way you can survive in a turbulent society like ours. My children jackpot, because especially my son, he left. My son is in UK because he could not cope with the lifestyle of what was going on. You know, he worked with a good company, but because he could not play the ball, he was left in one corner there. And he said, Mommy, I can't do that now. So he left, and he decided to set up his own mechanical workshop, because he's a mechanical engineer. Do you know what? They have to bribe 1 or 2 persons to bring cars to the workshop to repair. And even when they repair those cars, my Oga, you go add to this, you go add something on top the invoice. They say, I can't do that. And they say, oh, you never, you make it to do, you go there, you know, go come, you know, go feel survival. And that was how they actually frustrated the boy. And he has left for UK now. He works in a good company in the UK. Schneider Electricals. That's where he works now, and I think he's happy with himself. And all it's like that. So when you frustrate these children, those who are upright, they will be odd in that in a society like ours. If you want to be say father, holy, you want to you now you clean pass, you know, and before they turn to you, you become intimidated. Either you join them or you find your way. So that is Nigeria for you. And I pray that whatever I ventured into, because I told myself I'm not ready to bribe anybody, nobody should bribe me. I will do buying and selling and production. And I produce the Zobo drinks, Zobo and Tiger Nuts. That's where I have started from. And I learned the trade when a few months ago, going to 2 years now that I learned it. And before I will come out, I will make sure I get my NAFDAC number to make sure everything is perfectly okay before I launch myself into the public. But right now, I do small corner buying, you know, and selling. We produce a little and sell. For those who know me, they place order and they say, Mama, produce this for this, do this for that. Those who are diabetic, they will say, don't put flavor or don't add too much sugar. They'll tell me, I customize my drinks. Let me use that word. So I am trying, and very soon I've met all the requirements for NAFDAC registration. I'm only waiting for them to come around to tell me that, Mama, this is what we have gotten for you. So by the time that is done, of course, you people will be the first to know, because I will produce drinks, and that's what will be the official drink of Yakshe children. Yakshe garden. I'll be the official drink. Okay. So that's for you. Yeah, thank you very, very much. Okay. I appreciate this opportunity.
Yes,
and please don't hesitate to call me anytime you want me. Just let me know, and I'll be right there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Perfect. So please, as you heard, if you can patronize her, show your support. So we're going to be seeing her more often on this program, and so please, so if there's any need, we would add her number to the description, and that way you can reach her. So thank you very much. It's been an excellent discussion, and as always, we'd like to remind you to kindly subscribe, follow the page, like, and comment. And of course, if you want to come on for a chat, you are most welcome. So that is it for us today, and we thank you, Mrs. Patricia Enase. It's an honor to have you.
Enase.
Enase. Okay, sorry.
Enase.
Enase. Okay.
You got it, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so have a lovely day, and that is us with Yeshua Kids, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
you. Bye.
Yeah, my name is Taruwar of Yeshua Kids Garden. Okay, my name is Taruwar, the cool one. Yeah, I said it. I'm the cool one. Yeah. Okay, so just kidding, by the way. Gotta be humble here. Okay, so now my name is Taruwar, and I'm the guy with the announcements, the informations, and the reminders. So, speaking of reminders, if you are yet to subscribe to all our platforms, subscribe to us and follow us on TikTok at YeshuaKidsGarden.ykg, Instagram, Yeshua Kids Garden, and lastly, on YouTube. Come on, you want to take a guess? Yeshua Kids Garden as well. Okay, so follow us on all these platforms. It's really that easy. This way, you never miss out on anything. So come on now, it's just a button. Click it. Click the subscribe. Click the follow. Come on now. Click it. Click it. Click it. Come on, click it. All right, so now the announcements. In some time and over a period of time, we will be organizing some quiz which you will have the chance to participate in. All right, so now what will the quizzes be based on? It will be based on what we've learned so far. I will be the host and I will be asking the questions based on all we have treated in the past. So people with the correct answers will be selected at random for a gift or cash prize, which will be issued by our sponsor for today. So, just before we introduce you to our sponsor, in case you would like to join our community, WhatsApp to be precise, or follow our channel on WhatsApp as well, the link is in the description. Come on now. Be with the cool team. Yeah, the cool team. Okay, now back to our sponsor. So now, who is our sponsor? Who is that awesome entity, or what is that awesome entity that is helping us out, or that is showing us the great support that we need to make this show a success? So now let's get to it. Our sponsor for today, and our primary sponsor in all, is DistressSales.net, a platform where you can buy distress sales items. Also sell, of course. And you know what? Sign up is free. Who does that if not DistressSales.net? So join in today, join their platform, and actually see and sell, view, and buy. Okay, distress sales items. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what they do, their advert will be right on the side over here, and I'm just gonna be here keeping quiet. Right on the side here will be their advert. That way you understand what they're really all about. Okay. All right, so I'll be on the side.
Hey, look, these days, where economy just they fail. Come with Sapa way, no fit explain. You get brand where they sell, we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go pay. Hey, look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like I'm go the next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money, they do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you sharply buy for any location, wait there, so my manana, distress sales. My manana, distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Like say things they share for this website. Maybe go check out this website, man.